Testing, testing, testing the audio. Testing, testing, testing the audio. Testing, testing, testing the audio. Testing. Testing the audio. I am testing audio. Okay, that works. I mean, this isn't loading properly for some reason. I can't see the chat, which is kind of an important part. An important part of doing a live stream is being able to see what the people watching it are saying. Apparently, there's 4 people watching, which is, I think, more than I've ever had at the very start of a live stream. So, hello, 4 people. I don't know whether you actually exist or not, or whether you're just YouTube giving me hope that there are people who give a shiz about me, but hi and welcome to this. I don't even know if you can hear me, but you know, we'll find out. Hello and welcome to the June 2025 monthly update. The very perceptive among you will notice that it's not June today, it's July. That's because I was meant to do this yesterday, and I did know that, but by the time it was time to do this, I couldn't be bothered. So I'm doing it today instead. I knew it was yesterday. I just thought it was. I thought there were 32 days in June. Apparently, obviously there aren't. There's only 31. But anyway, hello, welcome. So, not much I've done this month. On this channel, on the gaming channel, things are going great, and I've got pretty much every video for this month, July, for the non-perceptive of you, pretty much all recorded. I've got 2 more that I need to record, and then that's every video for this month done. There's 2 more that are recorded that I haven't edited yet, but 2 more to record, and then that'll be all of them. I may. It depends on if I get the videos recorded or not. I may take August off. Possibly. It depends entirely on, as I say, if I record the videos or not. Because obviously if I don't record them, they can't go up, can they? I'm just not feeling at this second in the mood to record any videos. So, you know, obviously I'll make if I am going to take the month off, I'll make a community post on the second channel. Having said all of that, let us get on to the things I have actually done. Ding dong, and all that malarkey. Hello, who's this fella? 4 people watching. That's very rare for me. None of them have said, oh, yeah. Let us go here. So the only book I've finished this month is this one, Protector by Larry Niven. I was supposed to finish Doctor Who and the Abominable Snowmen today, but it hasn't been as nice. I mean, obviously I'm capable of reading indoors, but it's just so much nicer to read outdoors, but when it's nice, and it hasn't been as nice today as I was expecting, so I haven't been able to finish it. But, you know, it won't take me long. So the only book I've actually finished this month is Protector by Larry Niven. I gave it a 3.5 stars out of 5. Maybe my third, well, I mean, definitely at least my third favourite, because it's below The Flying Sorcerers, which was a 4.5, and that's below Ringworld, which is a 5, which is my favourite book ever, I think. 3.5. It's the same as some of the compilations. It's the same as all the Myriad Ways, and whatever else books I've got of his. It's the same as Millennium. So it was good. It was a very good book. I thought the first, it's kind of two halves. And I thought the first half was better than the second half, but I still like the second half. Although I'm not sure. It was good. It was good. The only thing bad about it is that it's written by the same person who wrote Ringworld. That's its flaw. I mean, if it wasn't written by the same guy who wrote Ringworld, it'd probably get an even higher rating. But the fact that I know Larry Niven is capable of being 1.5 stars better, you know, that's the one thing that keeps it at 3.5. But yeah, it was very good. I love the cover as well. I mean, just look at that. Beautiful, beautiful thing there. I don't know why I'm showing you it there when I literally have it right there in this edition, because for people who may or may not know, I am a collector of vintage paperbacks. I try to get the first edition whenever possible. I actually don't have a first edition of Protector. I have a second printing, but it's identical visually to the first. Like, the only thing that clues you into it's different is the fact that on the inside page it says second printing instead of first printing. That's like from the outside it's identical. I like the feel of all the books. I like the size. I like the cover artwork. I like the color of the pages. When the pages are a bit old and they go that kind of brown color, I prefer that to the blinding white. So there's lots of reasons I collect older books, and obviously I try to get, if you're going to collect vintage paperbacks, you might as well try to go for the first editions. I don't always, if I can't find a first edition, or if it's too expensive, or doesn't exist. I mean, you're never going to find a first edition of Dracula, are you? But that's not science fiction. But anyway, I am willing to go for later editions as long as they are visually indistinguishable from the first edition. So, but I try to get, if I can afford it and find it, I suppose it should be the other way around. If I can find it and afford it, I will get a first edition. But if I can't do either of those things, I will settle for a later edition as long as it looks the same as the first edition. So I can trick people into thinking that I've got all first editions. Because I'm a sneaky little git. A guitar. A goit, as they would have said in the Red Dwarf, which is a very good television program if any of you haven't seen it. I'm sure there's 4 people watching now is a glitch, because there's no way 4 people would sit through such nonsense of me just rambling on about Nout. But anyway, so that's that. That's things I've done. Things I've watched. Now, I've only watched 2 films. But the first of which, JFK in 1991, was fantastic. Now, when it comes to the old JFK assassination, I think it's pretty much generally agreed now that the official version is not remotely accurate whatsoever. I think most people can agree on that. Including the man who was in the car with him when he was shot, by the way, in case you didn't know that. The man, Governor John Connolly, who was shot, who sat in front of Kennedy and also got hit, doesn't believe the official. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It did a little bit. And that the shot was impossible because there was a tree in the way. But it doesn't matter. But basically, it's a great film. And it's long. It's like 3.5 hours long. No, I don't think I am mistaken. I think it is the longest film that I've ever watched in one sitting. I've watched longer films. Barry Lyndon is, I think, over 4 hours long, but I watched that in 2 parts because there's a very convenient intermission in the centre. But this, JFK, 1991, directed by Oliver Stone, starring, bloody hell, if any film has a star-studded cast, it's this one. Kevin Bacon, Tommy Lee Jones, Gary Oldman, Kevin Costner, John Candy, the guy from the fat guy from Seinfeld, which I haven't seen, but it's on my list. It's not really on my list, but I've heard it is quite good. I like a couple of clips from it. But yeah, it's just a great film. I don't necessarily believe the film's version of events either, but it's just so satisfying to... And Donald Sutherland, I don't know how I didn't mention Donald Sutherland. He's one of my favourite actors of all time, and he's in it. So he's in it for about 10 minutes, and it's one of the most memorable scenes in the entire film. It's just a fantastic piece of acting. That it's basically just a monologue, but it's just great. There's about 1 million monologues in this film, and they're all great though. But it was just great. I mean, it's just so satisfying to see, not necessarily the truth, but to see the official, obviously false version called out so brutally. It's just so satisfying, even though the alternative explanation is probably just as nonsensical as the real one. It's just so satisfying to see, someone give one of them to the official version, you know? So it's a great film, fantastic. If any, I don't even have to wait until the end. I'm just gonna say, if you can only watch one film, make it JFK, because it is just fantastic. However, the second film that I watched this month was not bad either. I mean, it's nowhere near the first one. It's nowhere near JFK. But as far as low-budget 70s horror films go, I thought Messiah of Evil was not bad. It's pretty good. I liked it. It's one of my favourite genres. I mean, horror. But it's one of my favourite subgenres of horror of anything, which is the small town conspiracy, which is where some strangers arrive in a town, not necessarily a small town, but some strangers arrive in a town or a village or something like that, and the townspeople all have some shared secret that they keep very concealed, but the new people who have just arrived can tell that there's something really weird going on. I just love that genre, that subgenre so much. Like, one of my favourite episodes of Doctor Who, The Android Invasion, has that. It's given away by the title. Spoilers, but the Android Invasion, the town was invaded by androids. But, I mean, that's partly the reason I love it. It's also Tom Baker and Elizabeth Sladen, who are obviously fantastic, both of them. Brilliant. Franslastic, incredible. But nothing. It's just a great story. A lot of people hate the Android Invasion, but it's one of my favourites. Definitely in the top 10 for me. And there's this great episode of The X-Files. I'm gonna make a top 10 on The X-Files as well at some point. But I haven't finished it. But we're very close. Me and my mum are going through The X-Files, and we're about halfway through season 8. And I know a lot of people didn't like the show when David Duchovny left, but honestly, we're only about halfway through season 8, and I'm already enjoying it a whole lot more than like the last 2 or 3 seasons with David Duchovny. I don't know why. I mean, I do like Robert Patrick's character, but I don't think that's the reason. The stories are just better. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they changed all the writers around or something, or got a new batch of writers in, but the stories for season 8 are just fantastic. There's this one, which is that sort of small town conspiracy thing. I can't remember what the episode... Oh, it's called Roadrunners. That's right, it's called Roadrunners. And the small town, I'm not going to spoil it, but they have this secret that they're concealing from Scully and Agent Doggett, who's the guy who Robert Patrick plays. And it's just such a fantastic episode. It was really great. I loved that one. It's one of my favourite episodes. Like, I don't think anyone has a top 10 of The X-Files where an episode from season 8, or from anything later than like season 5, is in the top 10, but I just love it. I love it. It was so good. And there were a bunch of other episodes that I've seen in season 8 so far, which are also really good as well. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Messiah of Evil. It's about this woman goes to investigate her father's disappearance, because she's stopped receiving. She's been sort of sending letters back and forth with him, and his last few letters were like really cryptic and weird, and it was clear that his mind was going. And then he stopped sending the letters, and so she's gone to investigate the town, and she meets up with these three people who are just kind of in a kind of, you know, a very 70s relationship. I'll put it that way. One man and two women. You can figure out what's going on there. It was a different type. Well, actually, that kind of thing is more popular now than it was back then. But it was very popular in the 70s. There's that kind of thing going on. And it's just, it is a genuine, like a lot of 70s horror films. I've kind of ran out of all the really great 70s horror films. I mean, you occasionally find one, like some film that no one ever talks about, which is really great, which is what I had with Death Watch. I know that's 1980, so not technically the 70s, but that film with Harvey Keitel and William Russell and Max von Sydow, however that's pronounced. I think it's Sydow. Which no one ever talks about that film, but it was really, really great. And Messiah of Evil isn't quite that great, but it's still genuinely. There are moments that are the really cringy, regular sort of cheesy 70s stuff, but then there's some odd scenes which are like really just kind of chilling, and they all involve, because you know I love it, the creepy townsfolk who have their secret that the main characters don't know about, or at least don't know about at the beginning of the film. And particularly there's this scene in a supermarket where one of the main characters is running around getting her shopping, and then all the other people are like looking at her, like everyone else in the supermarket is just staring at her, and then she rounds a corner and she sees a bunch of the townspeople eating the raw meat out of like the refrigerators of the supermarket, and they all turn to look at her, and she just legs it, and that's just a really creepy scene. Then there's another scene in a cinema where one of the other main characters goes and just sits, and she's watching, and when she first goes in, like this huge cinema, and there's only like two other people in the room, and they're both sat in front of her, and so she makes sure to sit where she can keep an eye on them both, but she's mainly watching the film. And we see it, and she doesn't hear it, but over the course of like a couple of minutes, like 50 people come in silently and like sit behind her, and then none of them watching the film, they're all staring at her at the back of her head, but she doesn't know what they do, and she doesn't realize until two of the people come in and sit at each side of her, and that's when she realizes something really weird. It's just a really creepy scene. But I love stuff like that, when like kind of the whole town has a secret that they don't know. It's one of my favorite things in fiction. I suppose it wouldn't be one of my favorite things in real life. It would be absolutely terrifying in real life if you just walked into a town and you're going out buy your shopping and everyone's just like, that'd be terrifying. But in films and in television programs, I adore the small town conspiracy. It's not really that small of a town in Messiah of Evil. I mean, they have a supermarket and a cinema, so it's not a very small town, but it's, you know, it's not a city. Clearly, it's a town. Maybe not a small town, but a town, you know. But town conspiracy doesn't roll off the tongue as well as small town conspiracy, so I'm going to continue saying small town conspiracy. And if you don't like it, you can get the frike out of my YouTube channel. If you do not like it, you can go away. Go away from me. Go away from me. Go away. Catapult. Monument. Rubber band. But anyway, So that's things I've watched this month. Things I've listened to, absolutely nout. Unless you include some Doctor Who missing stories, because I'm currently going through Doctor Who all again from the beginning, this time with myself rather than with my mum. But this time, on my first run through, I skipped most of the missing episodes. Unless there was the stories I watched, basically the ones that were on DVD. If it's on DVD and they like animated the other parts, then I watched it. Apart from the Web of Fear, which they just did the reconstruction, but that's fine. I actually, for the majority of them, I prefer the reconstructions with like the telesnaps than the animation, because most of the animation for most of the missing episodes is pretty crap. Apart from the 10th Planet and the Moon Base, those are the only episodes with any decent animation, in my opinion. But yeah, I'm now going through back from the beginning, but filling in all of the missing episodes. I mean, literally just before starting this live stream, I watched the first 4 parts of the Daleks' Master Plan, which is a story I've never seen before. Really, really enjoying this so far. I mean, so far, there's only 3 parts of it that are available. It's a 12-parter, and there's only 3 parts that are available. Part 2, Part 5, and Part 10. So, of course, of the 4 I've watched today, only Part 2 was actually full live action. There's the odd clip from the other 3, and I think it was episode 3, there's about like a 5-minute scene, which is, you know, we have it, but the rest of the episode is missing. But it's still really great. I mean, the episodes are longer than usual, but apart from like parts 3 and 4 dragged on a little bit, but parts 1 and 2 just felt combined like they lasted 15 minutes. It was really, really great. So I'm really enjoying it so far. And yeah, great to finally. I don't want to spoil anything, but one of the companions left at the end of the previous serial, who's one of my favorite '60s companions. No, Jamie exists. Jamie exists. So, my second favorite companion of the '60s. Yeah, I think so. I'll go with that. Because Jamie is obviously the best ever. But yeah. But yeah, I think that's all. Can't think of anything else to talk about, really. But yeah, it's a shame these last couple have been so short because I haven't really been doing anything. But you need to remember the weather has been really nice outside. So I've been spending a lot more time, and of course I've been focusing a lot more on the gaming channel as well. So the combination of being out in the garden most of the time, and then also the little time that I have left to spend here, I've been making videos rather than watching films. I mean, it doesn't take any effort whatsoever to watch a film, really, does it? But it's hard to find good ones, because I've watched most of the good films ever. And listening to albums, I just haven't been in a music mood at the moment. I haven't even been listening to any vinyl records, even though I've got about 4 or 5 that I haven't even listened to yet that I need to get. The albums I know, because I don't buy albums that I don't already enjoy. So I know I like the albums, but I haven't actually got around to listening to them yet. I've got Led Zeppelin 1 and 2, and Frank Zappa's Hot Rats, and Burnt Weenie Sandwich, which he did with Mothers of Invention, which is I think Burnt Weenie Sandwich is my favourite Frank Zappa album so far. Really stupid title, Burnt Weenie Sandwich, but the front cover is just probably my favourite album cover of all time, and it's just a great album. So there. I like this long sort of instrumental kind of stuff like that. Kind of jazz fusion is a genre I have been getting into fairly recently, the last year or so, with Frank Zappa and Nucleus as well, one of my favourite bands. But yeah, I can't think of anything else to say. I haven't done any paintings to talk about. I don't think. No. I still haven't edited and uploaded the last me painting episode that I recorded. I said last month that it was going to take maybe 1 or 2 days to get up, and I still haven't got around to editing it yet. Because I'm a lazy bing. Yeah, definitely a glitch. No 4 people are watching. But that is all for this time, guys or girls, and I'll see you in the next thing. The tie. Doo. Oh, Jesus. Oh, that still works. Do you still work? Hello? Do you still work? Yeah, you still work. Hello. I dropped the camera. I was worried it might have blocked, but no. This is a great camera, this. Ultra. I'll show you. Well, you can't really see it, can you? Oh, yeah, I forgot I can do blooming, video feedback, can't I? Dum da dum dum da dum dum da dum 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 da dum dum da dum do ew da do do da 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 dum da dum da da da-dum, ba-bum, 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 ba-dum, 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 da-da-da, da-dum, da-da-da, da-da, da-dum, ba-dum, 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 da-da, na-na-na, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, do-do-do-do. Had a great theme, Doctor Who, didn't it? Dum da dum dum da dum dum da dum 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 da dum da dum dum da dum dum da dum 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 da dum da dum dum da dum dum da dum 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 da dum.